We talk about the potential coup in Haiti.
Yeah, sure.
You were
I'm past the statute of limitation.
I mean, and this is something that we forgot to even mention briefly in the movie, but I read your book, again, cover to cover after the movie, and I was like, how come I didn't remember this? And you mentioned it when I was at the castle, like in one of our coffee breaks, but I mean, you almost went in there blazing.
Yeah, yeah. I was at Onassis Shipping Lines, working directly for Constantine Gratsos, who was the CEO of Onassis. And he said, we have this opportunity, Mr. Pena, I want you to attend this meeting with me. And so I went, and so they're going around, and the Mobil Oil was there, the Vatican was there, the head of the Vatican Bank, Representative Imelda Marcos was there from the Philippines, and a guy from the CIA was there representing supposedly Secretary of State, although they denied it later, but it was the CIA guys. And they said that the church is interested in Catholics in Haiti. Mobil Oil is interested in oil in Haiti, supposedly they have. Imelda Marcos just wants to have a good time. And the Onassis Shipping Lines is interested in shipping oil in Haiti. And Mr. Pena, and so I'm waiting for the shoe to drop, and he says, you were a military officer? Yes. You were an intelligence officer? Well, arguably yes, but I'm an infantry officer. He says, Mr. Pena's going to head this up. And I head up what? I didn't ask him in the meeting. After the meeting, I said, well, Mr. Gratsos, head up what? The invasion.
What year is this?
1981-82.
81-82, the Vatican, the CIA, Imelda Marcos, Mobil Oil want to go in and remove the president.
They were Baby Doc Duvalier,
yeah,
and Tonton Macoute, and we were going to invade through Dominican Republic next door. And in Miami, I get a message on my, in those days, block phone, cell phone, from a guy named Isaac, who was our CIA operative, that said, we're pulling the plug on the deal. The State Department thinks it'll be too controversial, bullshit.
But you were, first of all, they asked you to do it, and you said, yes, I'm in.
I said yes, yeah. And then I recruited about a 250-man army of mercenaries. And
American.
French Foreign Legion, American, Israeli, our, what do you call it? Our head guy, I was the general, but the number one real military guy was a guy named Mike Williams, who was West Point graduate and professional mercenary. His claim to fame, unfortunately, was he was the last head of the Rhodesian cavalry. Rhodesian, it was now Zimbabwe, and with a picture of him riding on a horse and a bayonet and a baby, a black baby on the bayonet. His claim to fame.
That was him?
Him, okay. With the baby on the bayonet.
You're always hanging out with the right people.
Yeah. And Mike Williams, and so we acquired a nuclear bomb, a nuclear device for $1 million from the French.
A nuclear device?
Nuke.
What
because
for?
Because we really were going to nuke everything, but then we found out that ruins everything for 20, 30, 50 years. So then it had to be boots on the ground. I believe I invented boots on the ground, but that, other people argue with me about
phrase.
That. Okay.
And, so you're going to go in there with some Hueys?
Yeah, we had 21 Hueys. And by the way, kids, you know how Arnold and those guys hold those 50 caliber? You cannot hold a 50 caliber in each arm. You can't hold a 30 caliber in each arm. You can barely hold a 30 caliber in two arms. So when you see these movies, they're not real weapons. But yeah, we were going to be boots on the ground. And
what'd your wife say all about this?
I left her a long letter. I said, don't open this. If you open this, I'm dead. She said, it's one of the few times she didn't support me. One of the few times. But the interesting thing is when the deal got pulled, we had a list. The government in exile from Haiti was at the LaGuardia Airport, New York. They had about 80, 90 rooms. The list of people that we were supposed to assassinate grew from 6 people to 600.
You were going to take out what? Baby Doc and a few of the people that were going to get Baby Doc out of there?
All the top guys. Okay. And then they said, you got to take out all the Tonton Macoute. You got to take out all the mercenary butchers. Because you got to kill them all. So 3 seminars ago, we got a black kid, good-looking black kid sitting in the audience. I go around, Jim Jones, Dave Jones, whatever his name was. And I said, what's your last name again? And he told me, and I go, I was wondering when you were going to, my dad was mayor of Haiti. Port-au-Prince. What? And I said, your dad was on the list. If I had whacked your dad, you wouldn't have been born, you little black bastard. He says, you're right, I'm thankful. And I said, well, then do something with your life. Serendipity dealt you a good hand, now go out and do something with it. A smart kid, but his dad is the first person I could ever connect to the actual deal.
That. So the list went from 6 to 600, so it's getting a little out of control.
And then that's when, allegedly, the State Department said no.
But it was days away.
Yeah. I mean, no, hours.
Hours away.
36 hours away.
Chance of you making it through that alive? It's going to be pretty hairy. Real hairy. I mean, everything gets messy when all those plans go to shit, right? And you don't know who you can trust.
First gunshot,
and who
plan goes to shit.
For all you know, they know you're coming.
Correct.
Right. I mean, loose lips. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, absolutely. But I was going to be the first off the head,
And blasting.
Yeah. And then after that, when that fell to shit, I was what do they call it? Gutted. And then, then I looked a couple times going to do some mercenary work in South America to get trigger time again because I never saw combat.
Right.
And but by this time, I'm getting long in the tooth. And now they've got mercenaries, arguably 40s and 50s. Now, back in those days, they didn't. And so I'm too long in the tooth, and I had been away from the military too long, and
You're in the 40s now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it didn't work out, and so that's one of my it's my main regret.
But probably maybe for the better.
Yeah, well, I'm here. I might have been killed, but I could have been killed by the buffalo running over me.
Yeah.
And I've had 3 or 4 other fucking. There's this thing on my site called Dan Does the Impossible of 18 or 20 things, crazy shit that I did, but I've always been drawn to proving my masculinity, my manhood, or whatever you want to call it. I didn't know it was testosterone in those days, and but I should have been dead at least 10 times by now, at least. And now, wrongfully, you can't kill me.
You believe that?
Yeah, I believe it with all my heart. And see,
that's a weapon.
In the movies, when they say, "Okay, do you have any last words?" That's not how it's done. Boom, boom, boom. Now do you have any last words? Then you go, boom, boom, new clip, boom, 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 boom. That's the real world.